Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Geek Addicts, the pop culture podcast where we put on our poorly animated CGI flight suits and shoot some green shit out of our hands. I am Bill, and this is Matt. How you doing, Matt?
Oh, I'm doing all right, Bill. How are you? How are you doing?
I am very tired, but I am always very tired. So that's just kind of my opening tagline these days, it seems like.
Yeah. I freaking you see, I stayed up a little bit later than I usually do last night, but we didn't have Frances here. She was at my in-laws' place for the night, and so I was like, oh great, I'm gonna get a good night's sleep. I get to play my game a little bit in bed, and then I can get a good night's sleep. But between Cindy tossing and turning and the cat trying to maul my face, it just was not. I was up like 3 times throughout the night because it's just a number of things all happening at once. It just made it impossible.
Yeah, I hear you. I got up sort of early today because me and Alex Alex needed to buy tap dancing shoes, so I just tagged along.
Mhm.
Um, and then we
Did you
went
say
up to
tap dancing shoes?
Yeah, she's trying a new dance thing.
Ah,
So
Irish step dance getting old.
no, I think she just wants to do stuff professionally and wants to try different things. Not
Makes
professionally,
sense.
it just
More
per-
seriously.
she wants to do just personal dancing, not have to worry about
Hmm,
competing. So more power to
fair.
her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, yeah, but we instead we went to the mall after that because it's right by there because that's where the Newbury Comics is and a couple other stores.
Oh, you guys have
And
Newbury Comics down there?
we have one. It's a little bit out of the way, but whenever we're in that area, we like to stop in there.
Makes sense.
Um,
Little taste of home.
yeah, yeah, I guess it's so funny because they lay them out so different every time you go to one.
Yeah.
Um, we did go there though. Of course, like this is just how our luck is sometimes. We walk up to the door and we're like, all right, we're not going to spend too much because we're recovering from a con. And of
Mhm.
course, right on the door, there's a big sign that says manga 50% buy one, get one 50% off. I'm like, fuck, why do they do this to us?
I think they
Um,
always have that sale going.
it's hit or miss. We haven't seen it in a while. This has been like the first real sale I've
No,
had
I
in a
feel like
while.
the one at the local mall over here usually has something like that going.
Haven't had one here in a while. We'll usually get like either music CDs or merchandise. We haven't had the manga one in a while.
Yeah, even
Um,
see it's so weird going into Newbury Comics or stores of the like nowadays because well, first of all, like Newbury Comics doesn't do DVDs anymore except for every now and then you'll see like a Ghibli movie or something,
mm.
and the music has been downsized dramatically. Like whereas there used
Oh
to be
yeah.
like 3 or 4 double-sided racks, now there's one.
What's
They have like
crazy?
a rack for vinyl specifically, which is nice, but it's insane how much they've downsized and all the stuff that but kind of put them where they were, you know?
There's more mong not mon- there's more records than CDs now, which is interesting.
Yeah. It's so weird how that happened, huh?
Well, it's interesting because at first you're like, oh, that's cool. I'd like to buy some records. And then you look at the prices and you go, not today. um,
Even Walmart's the same. Oh, dude, I had a similar thing because I saw they had I don't know if they still have it, but maybe it was like a year ago or something. We went into Newbury Comics and they had the fucking Ponyo soundtrack on vinyl, and I was like really tempted. I was really tempted. Then I saw the price. I was like, yeah, nope, not happening.
I bought my favorite band's AFI, and they had one of their records on vinyl, like a new vinyl edition. I saw the
Hmm.
price; it was fucking $70,
It's insane, dude.
and I hate myself because I bought it because it's AFI. I'm
You
like,
probably could
oh,
have got it cheaper on Amazon.
a different version probably.
Hmm.
I looked on Amazon. That particular printing is expensive everywhere because vinyl
Fair.
is it's a thing now that people care about. It's funny.
Hmm. Yeah, it's bizarre how that happened.
It's funny to me that Newbury Comics, like the comics part, is one of the smaller
Super downsized. Oh
aspects
yeah,
of this. There's more manga than comics now. There, it's funny.
by a wide margin. Yeah.
I mean, manga is growing exorbitantly faster than comics as of late,
It just
anyways.
sucks though,
But
because there's a bunch of times where I've gone in actually wanted to look at American comics for once, and maybe pick something up, and I look around and the few things that I see, it's like I'm mildly interested in this, but not interested enough to pay fucking like $60 for it.
Yeah. I get it. Next time you're up here, there's a comic shop, like an actual comic shop that we have that show you around there.
It'd be cool.
But
yeah, we need to fucking make it. We need to get our car fixed and like figure out our whole holiday season situation.
Yeah.
I would definitely like to come. I'm kind of bummed out we didn't come to see you during like the summer.
I know. This summer was weird. Like this was an oddly quick summer.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but we were there, of course, and I'm like, all right, well now I have to look at the manga because it's the sales going on. None of my new releases, because Newbury likes to put releases out early. None of them were available, so I was kind of like, yeah, okay, whatever. But then I noticed they had like in their little display rack of like what's hot right now. They had the first 2 volumes of the Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity, and I was like,
oh yeah.
I was like, okay, I have to know now. So I grabbed those. I'm like, okay, that's 2 volumes. That's not so bad. Then I walk over to the racks and I see, oh, it's already up to volume 8. Great.
Makes sense.
But with the sale, what was like $150 ended up being like 80. So
that's not bad
for all 8 volumes. That's not terrible. But yeah, now I have all the currently localized volumes of that, so that's another thing to read.
Have you been watching it?
Yeah, all 3 episodes so far.
Yeah, how do you think so far?
It's different. I'm curious where it's going. It's insane that we somehow have found a female protagonist that's somehow more wholesome than Toru and Sawako combined.
Yeah.
That's an accomplishment, I'd say.
Especially given the environment that all these kids are in, in this show.
She almost feels like out of place in the tone that show's going for.
Yeah, well, I mean, because I think in the last episode they said something about how she's not from a rich family and she kind of like worked to get herself there.
Yeah, well, she's like a fish out of water kind of thing.
Yeah, it makes sense that like she'd be like the one humble one there,
I love that image of like her, when he finally stops being a bitch about it and opens the goddamn curtain, and she's over there like jumping up and down like a goober. I'm like, this is adorable. I'm like,
yeah.
Like, voice acting's a little. One thing I'll say about Netflix, their dubbing is not the best. They're getting better, but some of their choices are a little.
Wait, who was it? 'Cause I looked into who was playing some like these characters.
The main character is Robbie Damon. I know that.
Who is he again? I know I just looked it up last week, but I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure he's just Netflix's go-to person these days.
But there was something else specifically that he was in that I was like, oh, that's where I know him from.
I think I know.
Oh, that's right. He plays Fushiguro in Jujutsu Kaisen. And the chick who plays like the main girl, I looked into her thing and she's only done like 2 things.
Yeah, she's pretty
new. She's not a regular voice actor.
Yeah, I will say the first episode she was a little rough. Not gonna lie. She got a lot better though. By the 3rd episode.
Well, I'm sure part of it is like, it's something that you don't do a lot. Nerves are probably a part of it. And like once she kind of got into the swing of it, it was like, okay, like this is good.
Oh, Robbie Damon's a fucking tuxedo mask in the new dub. That's funny.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
But no, I'm definitely enjoying it. There's definitely a lot of aspects of it that I can tell are like kind of like playing around with a lot of the tropes that these kinds of shows usually have and kind of turning them on their head.
Yeah, it's weird to me that they're really making the female half of the cast seem like the bad ones in this case, and I'm like, that's a weird start, but I'm curious where it's going.
Yeah, well, it's not something that we've never seen. I mean, Nagatoro, has that kind of.
Let's be fair. Let's be fair though. That's comedic.
Oh, for sure.
After
there's like some scenes in those first few episodes where like the confrontation, like the grading between the 2 schools, like it's kind of uncomfortable at points.
Well, the scene in the 2nd episode where she's like, because she's so unaware of the situation, she's standing outside the boys' school gate, and like immediately causes a problem. I'm like, God damn, this is
Yeah, it's like things are so tense between the two schools that even just standing near that school gets everybody all fucking worked up.
yeah. I also like the fact too that the main character he's like his reputation is that he's like this thug, but he's literally just a dude. Like he just
He works at a
chills.
cake shop
Yeah.
that his family owns. He's actually just like a regular dude. He just
He's
comes
got
off that way.
he's got kanji like the kanji like thing going on.
Yeah, he's got definitely got the kanji vibes. Yeah, that's why I say like he's like a more downplayed, like a more chill version of kanji, and I like that.
Mm.
Only instead of sewing, he makes cakes.
Yeah. And he doesn't beat up biker gangs for the hell of it.
No, no, he
Yeah.
does get involved
Yeah,
in
we don't
scraps. He does get involved in some scraps so far, though.
we don't know. He might beat up biker gangs at some point.
And yeah, entirely possible. Entirely possible.
Speaking of anime though, Dandadan's over.
I know. I'm kind of sad. I'm kind of sad. I mean, we did get the confirmation for season 3. Not that I was, worried about it.
No, that one
Um,
that one was more just kind of a formality. We're like, oh yeah.
yeah.
Um,
I don't know how long it's going to be because it was a really fast turnover this last time. So I wonder if it's going to be as fast or if we're going to have a little bit of time between them.
I
Or
I'm looking at the covers of the manga because it's not a series I'm planning to pick up because I really need to stop buying new series and actually read the ones I have. Um, if I read it, I'll read it digitally. But
Hmm.
I was looking at the manga covers and I was kind of like, what? I think they're actually hitting the dreaded running out of material wall. So I think next
Hmm.
season might be the last one for a bit.
Yeah, it might be the downside of having such a fast turnover.
Well, especially with all these new series getting animes like really fast, like it's really
Hmm.
funny that there's a lot of completed series out there that just are being ignored. Meanwhile, they're like jumping on all these new series and they're like, shit, we're out of material. What do we do?
Yeah. And meanwhile, Comey's over in the corner, like, yeah.
Forgotten. Yeah, Comey fucking is done with like at least a couple seasons worth of material.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean it is what it is. Um,
Yeah.
that ending of Don though, that was something.
Well, I mean, the whole episode was intense. It was awesome. I was loving the whole thing. I mean, like literally at one point, Cindy and I were watching. We actually watched it last night, and at one point, I turned to Cindy and I go, "When did this show get awesome?"
Season two,
Like,
like right
yeah,
around the like a few episodes, right around when the Evil Eye stuff really got fully figured out. You know what the moment for me where I was like, I where I realized I liked the show. It
what?
was the fucking the fucking metal song like just in the
Yeah,
middle of it. I was but that was
yeah.
the point where I was like, I went from being skeptical to like I'm like I actually kind of like this show now.
And the scene, like the three kids are like watching them, and they're like, "What the fuck is happening?" And it keeps flashing to them, and like they keep getting more and more into the song as it goes on. It's
Oh yeah,
eventually they're just head banging. Like it's awesome.
I
Even
love
like the preppy pink haired girl is who like. All right, I like this.
I love that like the final episode we had that great scene where like not Aaron Yeager's like over he's like, well, if you guys ever need my help again, I'd be happy to to lend you my skills. And then they're just like, nah, it's okay, man. Like you're good.
But I love that we have like a third faction when it comes to sci-fi in here. Like we had the ghost side, we had the alien side. Now we have robots. Now we
Yeah.
have like Gundams and shit. It's like yes, like this is exactly what this show needed. There's like a character like him.
Yeah, that ending though, I was like, "Oh, this how's he gonna get out of this
Yeah.
one?"
What was your reaction when the fucking spoilers to everybody? What was your reaction to when the fucking like quote unquote dead kaiju just kind of opened up and it was just like a fooly cooly chick in there?
I was like, to be honest, it's taught me to don't be surprised by anything. So I was more just like, "Oh, that's a development." And
Yep.
then
And then
into that scene of Momo seeing the
yeah.
then the house blew up again.
Yeah. Yeah. That was to be expected. Hang on a sec. We're having some connection issues, I think.
Hmm.
Oh, I think it's on my end. You
Uh,
seem okay now.
okay.
Um,
Yeah. it's been struggling around here lately, so I don't know.
But yeah, it was incredible, and I'm really looking forward to seeing like how that goes, and like even the fact that like this happened at all, like oh, all of a sudden there's just like this hot alien chick, and she like it's like her first instinct in this whole situation is to start making out with Okaroon, whose whole thing is being obsessed with alien shit. So like
Yeah,
you got to imagine he must have been dreaming that some hot alien babe would just come down to Earth and like be his girlfriend. So like that's gonna be a whole thing between him and Momo. So like
yeah. Fucking Okaroon over here swimming in bitches. Like, what's going on over
right,
here?
class rep is off in the corner, like
Oh, yeah,
he's simping over him
her.
too. Like what the fuck is going on?
Like, where the fuck was she when he was like getting bullied before? Like suddenly he's popular. Like, okay.
Right?
Uh
Like I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing where the show goes. Like this is like the biggest turnaround of my opinion when it comes to a show that I've experienced in quite a long time.
Speaking of that, we got the polar opposite effect with another show that got us 3. Uh,
Uh, you're you're roboting again. What's up?
oh, jeez. Um, it's gonna be weird because it's like gonna be fine on my end, but I was gonna say a show with that somehow also got a 3rd season, but is like the polar opposite.
Oh, they got a third season.
Yeah,
I don't know how I feel about that. I mean,
which
obviously they can't just leave it as it is, but like,
I think they could. I've completely lost interest.
they should have done it in the first season if they were gonna do it.
So I also made a discovery. Did you notice the vending machine's voice changed?
Yeah, I don't think it was something that I consciously was like, oh, they changed the actor, but like I did notice that it was different. Like something
I,
about it seemed different.
I didn't notice at all. And then I saw a post where when season 3 got announced, somebody commented, I couldn't even watch season 2 because of the voice change. And I went, voice change. And then I looked at it, I was like, oh, you're right.
Well, the only reason I was able to notice is because at one point during season two, like the opening bit where they do the whole where they're about to start like the opening song and it like zooms in on Box, so it goes to oh hello there thing. That part sounds different, and I was like, that's weird because they didn't change the opening for this like maybe like the opening is the same throughout the whole second season. So like it was one of those weird things that I picked up on. Like that's weird. They re-recorded it or something. It's bizarre.
Yeah. I don't know. It was just a weird, I don't know. I saw season 3 and I was just like, cool, I'm not watching that. I'm done
Yeah.
after this season.
Mhm.
There was a Sailor Moon reference in the most recent episode that apparently stuck with me so much that I didn't even remember it when Alex brought it up.
I didn't remember it either. What was the reference?
They just did Sailor Moon transformations at one point, and they were like
Oh yeah, they did.
note for note like accurate too, which is weird.
And you know what the
Um,
sad thing is too is that that last episode actually like I actually kind of like that one because they were going back to just doing silly shit. Like, oh, we're gonna have a beauty contest now. Like, okay, cool, I'm here for it. Like, that's the kind of thing we need in this show. We don't need all this serious demon lord fucking bullshit.
See, the
Save the cursed child. Like,
problem is like now I'm just uninterested that even like that like didn't do anything for me. I was just kind of like,
I actually like that episode. Like, that's sad. There's been like 2 episodes this whole season that I've actually been into, and that's it.
yeah, I'm just like at this point now I'm just slugging through it just to say I finished it and then I'm gonna move on.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
yeah,
other
it's
than
been
that,
that.
Sakamoto Days has still been very good.
Mhm.
The new arc is like this arc they're covering right now is one of the best in the manga, so it's been really fun seeing it come to life.
Yeah,
Um, Kaiju, I have not seen the today's Kaiju episode yet, so I'm gonna
me
wait on
neither.
that. But I know they're gonna put out all the stops. I'm not sure where they're gonna end it though, because they're definitely gonna end it right before the big final con. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's enough for like one more season at most.
What, like for the complete manga? Like, there's one gonna be one more season, and that's the whole thing.
Probably. It's looking
Okay.
like it.
I feel like there's a lot more potential with this show. Like, you could
Yeah,
do more with it. But
that's kind of been the general thing with the with kaiju is that it kind of ends before anything it really hits its peak.
Mhm.
But
I don't know. I guess we'll
yeah.
see once it's a complete product. We can actually do the whole thing together. But
I
I don't
haven't
know. It
seen
just feels like
going.
this could be like a long series, like a My Hero kind of thing. Like
Yeah,
obviously not like the same thing, but like it seems like it like this is a show that could go on for a while.
that's a weird thing with it because it's like I'm happy that it's not overstaying its welcome, but at the same time, I'm like, I mean, you could have stayed a little longer. I mean,
Yeah, like kind of like how we had with Daima earlier this year.
hmm,
Like yeah, like I like that we're not like stretching it to the point of it being like annoying, but we could definitely stay and explore more, like a little bit.
yeah. Um, Speaking of My Hero, I've been actually making progress as of late.
Oh, good.
I'm in season 5 now. I'm at the point where the intro sucks, becomes the shitty intro. Um,
I don't remember like any of them.
the one of there's the second half of season 5. The intro is just really bad.
What
Um,
part are you on?
So I am just before. I have not gotten to it yet, but I know it's coming. The My Villain Academia arc.
I don't remember.
That's where they focus exclusively on the villains for a bit. It's just
Oh,
there.
okay. Yeah.
Um,
Well, no, that's
because
actually like it's really cool when they do that though, because like even the villains are like really engaging a lot of the time.
yeah, currently they're doing their work studies, all of them over winter break. Because we had Deku and Bakugo joined Endeavor's agency, and then we just had the breather episode with the girls. I've officially ruined Gravity Girl for Alex now.
Yeah.
Well, I forgot what her name was, so I just started calling her Ukachaka. So now she's literally anytime I see her, I'm like, oh, it's Ukachaka. Uh,
That's
yeah,
good. That's
and
good.
Alex is like, I hate you. I'm like, good.
Very nice.
Yeah, but it's been good so far. Season 5 is a little slow. I think season 5 is the one that people say is the weakest season. So
I mean, I guess so. I don't know. Honestly,
well, it's definitely the least focused because it starts out with the next like school contest exam thing. Then we get
oh, did
filler.
that was that kid introduced? The
Which
kid,
one?
what the fuck is his power? He like ends up kind of like Eraserhead ends up like taking him under his wing.
Oh yeah, the mind control guy who's been like kind of recurring, but he finally is getting his chance.
Yeah. So does that mean you've gotten like the reveal with Deku?
Oh, his power. Yeah, his weird tentacle shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen all that.
Do you know what like
We
the deal with that is yet, or
well,
or,
I know
why he has it?
I know it's from the previous users of All for
Yeah.
One.
Yeah.
And
So it's like essentially at this point, it's like, oh, he can essentially have access to all the quirks of the previous holders.
yeah, I've gotten that. Like I've kind of pieced that together. We'll have to wait and see on that where that goes. We had Endeavor got his big face scar, so that's a new thing.
Oh yeah, like the big fight that he had with like
The
the fuck are those
Nomu.
things called? Nomu.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
weird name.
it's been fun though. Like Alex, like I love I love talking to Alex about it because like there's just characters I can't stand. Like I still hate Bakugo. Um, because like Alex was like, but he has his big character moment here where he finally starts redeeming himself. I'm like, he's still an asshole that I don't like.
Well,
Um,
yeah, I mean, he can still be an asshole, but be a good dude. I mean, fucking Vegeta's an asshole. He's an asshole all the way through, no matter
yeah,
what
but
series you're in.
Vegeta, like I get it. Bakugo's just being an asshole to be an asshole, and I don't get his deal. I just don't.
True. That's
That's my
fair.
problem. I'll say no. That's my big problem with Bakugo. I just don't get it. Like why? Like because we see his parents. It's not like he had shitty parents. It's he just is an asshole for no reason.
No, his parents are actually cool.
I know. Um, yeah. There's besides that though. The only other character I can't stand is the fucking douchebag from Class B.
Oh, the guy who's like, haha, class A, we are the better class.
Yeah,
That guy.
the
Yeah,
one who's his
nobody likes
routine
him.
his routine shtick is he gets fucking a chop to the neck every time he's on screen.
Mm-hmm.
Is it bad though that he makes me dislike Class B even though the rest of them did nothing wrong? It's just him.
He's the loudest, most obnoxious one, so it just gives you a different. He's the one you
Well,
focus on.
when they reappeared for that arc, like all they're like being like, "We've returned," and I'm just like, because it's been so long since we've seen them. My literal response was just, "Who are
Who?
you?" I'm like, "Who are you?" Um, I did like the emergency drill that they did early in the season, where like Eraserhead's like, "All right, you're gonna go do this drill now," and then it's like, "Oh, the villains are the big three." That's fun.
Mhm.
Well, except for the phase through guy, Million or whatever.
Lemillion, yeah.
Lemillion, where he's just the victim and he's like floating in the river. He's like, "Oh no, I fell in the river. Somebody save me."
Dude, he fucking. I love him. He's a great character.
He is. I
Like,
enjoy.
the
I like the big.
stupid butt joke that he makes.
Yeah, I like the big three in general. Like I love to like they save him from the river and then like the twist happens and then he's like, "Oh no, I fell back in. Somebody do
Yeah,
something."
yeah.
Um.
And then was it the other guy in the group who his like
Oh,
whole thing is like if he eats something like an animal or something, he like gains the abilities of the animal. Like that's
yeah.
pretty cool.
I liked him too though because he's like they're like trying to be villains. Like the I forget her name, but the floaty girl, she's like trying
Mhm.
really hard but failing to be villainous, and then he's just like,
Mhm.
"Fuck it, I'm going home." I'm like, "This is great. I love these guys."
Yeah, there's a lot of fun, colorful characters in My Hero. I understand why it became popular.
Yeah, no, I mean it's a nice split between characters. I still think the fan base is fucking mental at times, but um, that happens
I
with a
think
lot
that
of
might just.
animes.
I think it's just an anime thing, honestly.
Yeah, but the My Hero fan base is like a special kind of bizarre.
Fair.
There's a reason why they're considered the most infamous anime community. I swear.
I did actually actually last night I realized um Oshinoko season 2 is on Hulu.
Oh, is it now?
Yeah, they just put it on. I don't know when exactly they did it, but I was going to continue watching it because that's how we've been watching Dandadan. I went
Hmm.
to go put it on and Oshinoko was there and I was like, oh, that's weird. Like why we finished that? Why is that still there? And yeah, it was like season 2, episode 13 or episode 12, whatever it was.
Hmm. Oh, nice.
I was like, oh shit. So yeah, Sydney and I are gonna have to watch that soon. Maybe next week when
Uh,
yeah,
you'll
when I get
finally
some time.
you'll finally understand like the best outro of last year and like just such a fucking good arc.
Yeah, I'm only a year late. That's all right.
It's okay. I'm like 12 years late to a lot of things this year, so
Well, friggin' season 3 comes out in January, so it works out.
yeah, that's good. It's just gonna prolong getting a high dive subscription as long as possible.
Well, hey, I mean we get what we get in January we get Freerun and Oshinoko.
Hmm. And
Pretty cool.
Spy Families before it.
Yeah, I think Spy Family will probably be done by then or close to it,
Hmm.
depending on when in January they come out.
Yeah. No, there's a bunch of stuff, so it's gonna be
Mhm.
interesting going forward.
And Doctor Stone is continuing to be awesome. Like that's another one that I think like once you finish your My Hero and your JoJo's thing, like that should be the next bigger one that you tackle. I think you
Yeah.
would love that one.
I have such a long list, so we'll see when we get there. I might have to take a break from My Hero during October just because there's a couple horror themed animes that I might need to watch for projects. But
Mhm.
yeah, we'll see how it goes.
You'll have to let me know which ones.
Hmm.
Off mic. I don't want you to spoil it, but
Yeah. Well, we haven't decided yet, but we're in the
okay.
planning phase right now.
Cool,
But
cool.
yeah, other than that though, nothing else too crazy. Oh, My Dress Up Darling. That's I haven't seen the new today's episode because it isn't out yet, but that last episode had a great upcoming Marin crash out, which is going to be fun.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that random like leather jacket chick with the sword.
Oh, her. Yeah, she seems
She's
complicated.
got a weird thing going on with her. I don't know what's going on with that, but
Yeah, we'll have to find out. I think there's a lot more to that than so far what
oh,
we
for
know.
sure. there's definitely something related going on, but it's one of those things
Yeah.
where we're not going to know until it happens. It'll probably end up being a lot more like mundane than they're referring it to be, but
Yeah. There's definitely a secret though, and we'll find out eventually, I guess. Or we could just ask Slade. Oh yeah, speaking of Slade, did you see his big trolling moment?
what, like how it's just like, oh hey, we're back.
Yeah, it's like show's canceled.
Yeah.
Psych. Like,
Yeah, and then there was no new episode for like 3 weeks.
yeah.
It was like, oh shit.
Yeah, he was just moving.
Um,
He was doing adult
but
moving and getting married. He was doing adult things, you know.
yeah, there's a lot going on. But no, like, kind of backtracking a little bit. Like, I actually liked his comment on the Fragrant Flower show.
Hmm.
Like, because I had messaged him or I had tagged him or whatever at Discord. I asked him if he'd been watching it, and how did he put it? He said it was like diabetes level of sweet and wholesome.
Yeah, that's why I'm like kind of terrified. There's going to be some twist at some point, and I'm like, we don't need this. Let it be what it is.
You know,
um,
I'm really enjoying where that one's going, and I'm looking forward to watching more.
hmm, yeah,
Oh, Ranma One Half is getting a season 2, the remake. I
I
think
saw
also
that.
next month.
I saw that. I'll sit down and watch that at some point. Um, I just have
I'm
too
excited
much.
for it.
I have too much goddamn shit I need to watch.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. Any other things, or did we get into our wonderful untitled Dark and Black segment?
I think we're ready to go.
All right, let's hop in to this.
This thing.
Why we made the title too long.
Yeah. So
So,
this one is a love song at the garbage heap, I think is what it's called.
so I have to say right off the bat, the last two episodes were a clusterfuck of a lot of shit at once.
Yeah,
These
a lot of
two,
information getting dumped.
yeah, these two were like right back to like stuff being easy to digest. Like this was, I like these two episodes a lot.
Yeah, and they're also kind of like at the same time just like sewing in like they're still referring to the stuff that happened in the last episode because it was a big episode and it mattered.
Hmm.
But like they keep like flashing out of like the current story to like have people talking about what's going on with like the Evening Primrose and like what their whole deal is, what their motivation is, what their demands are, all that stuff.
Hmm.
So it's like I don't know, like the last couple were just such huge info dumps and so much going on that it was hard to follow. And I feel like it would have been better if they kind of pieced it out and laid it out like over time a little bit.
Hmm.
Because like that's kind of what this episode is doing. Like we have like our main A plot, and then the B plot is kind of just like the aftermath of what happened in the last one.
Yeah.
Because we start out and we have a couple of different meetings going on. We got Chief Kirahara, who's talking to like one of her superiors about the whole situation. Then you have Huang talking about one of his superiors in the syndicate, and they're both kind of discussing the same thing, like with what the Evening Primrose is doing and what their connection to Hay is. Because basically like Kirahara learns that like BK201 is connected because like the Amber, who was like like backstabbed MI6 or MI5, whatever the fuck it is, because she was involved in that whole thing with Heaven's Gate being destroyed, and it was something like BK201's star along with a bunch of other stars kind of awakened at that point, and that's
Hmm.
kind of like the connection there. And then when we go over to like Huang's whole conversation about it, like he's kind of asking like a similar thing, like what's their connection, what's the big deal here. And basically the guy just tells him like, oh, Amber was on his team, they were down in South America, she ended up betraying them, and then those two were the only ones left. But like, we think it might be a revenge thing. We don't know exactly what he feels about it, but this is essentially what it is, and I don't really think we have to worry too much about it, kind of thing. And well, Hay is like, we go to Hay, and he's getting ready for his job of the week,
Yeah.
and he's like going out, and like all of his neighbors are just like out on the patio, just partying and drinking and being crazy.
Oh yeah, old lady is a fucking star in this episode.
Oh yeah, she had a couple great moments. Basically her just being like, "Hey, Lee, you're a good boy. You're not like these bums over here." Like they're like trying to get him to call out of work to come and drink with them. He's like, "No, I got stuff to do. It's fine." Like, so he ends up going to work, which apparently now he's a waiter at a restaurant. Which I think it's a front for like the Yakuza or something.
Some sort of mob organization, anyways, whatever this universe is.
Yeah, because there's some douchebag there who's like, just running around like he's King Dick on campus, and he's just like, yeah, I'm just not gonna pay. I'll pay you next week or whatever for the food and everything. And this dude walks out, and he's like, you think he's gonna be like, like the, like one of those like standard mob kind of guys, just like, you better pay your bill or you're gonna get hurt and this and that. And the dude just gets fucking put down. Like,
yeah, it goes from being a serious like mob movie to the Yakuza series of video games very quick.
Yeah, because pretty much what was his name? Kenji? That was his name?
Kenji, yep.
Yeah, because he's like, trying to act big and bad, and the dude pretty much just like puts him down in no time.
He's very clearly the lowest man on the totem pole in that group.
Yeah, and he's like trying to act like he's the cool gang member kind of guy. And I don't remember exactly how it happened, but Hay ends up getting involved, and the dude like tries to beat up Hay, and he's just kind of like ducking and weaving and blocking, and just like.
Well, I think what happened was
like directly fighting him, but just not getting hit.
Yeah, I think what happened was Hay intentionally kind of like got in his way and bumped into him, and then had the check just on his little plate thing as like to be a dick.
Oh
basically.
yeah.
And the guy got really pissy about that, so then Hay just started doing his like normal, "Oh, timid, look at me! Oh no," like shtick.
Yeah, we actually got one of the gifs that I posted in the GIF page was from this episode where he's like run away, arms up in the air, like
yeah,
like the goofy run.
Yeah. But he ends up like distracting that guy long enough for the actual mob boss to show up and basically shut that down real quick.
Yeah, I just kind of put everything down. Played by Chris Ayres, not the kind of role we generally saw him in, and I kind of liked it.
Yeah, it's a R.I.P. Chris Ayres. It was a. I didn't recognize the voice right away.
It's because he wasn't doing like a high pitched like goofy kind of character, or like he wasn't doing like a Frieza or like a little short fat guy or anything like he would normally do,
Yeah, he was doing like a more serious voice, which was interesting.
Not something we usually heard from him.
The guy had range. He had range.
For sure. So like essentially like that whole thing goes down, and they he pretty much puts down the dude who is just being an idiot. And the big mob guy, Kenji, and Lee or Hay are all like kind of off to the side. And at first you think like Kenji's like about to like get like punished for like not being able to do it, and it's basically just kind of like a mentor moment, like idiot, like just kind of hit him over the head, which is like, idiot, don't turn your back on someone like that. Yeah, kind of like one of those teachable moment kind of things.
Yeah.
But then basically he thanks Hay for helping him out, and pretty much hands Kenji a bundle of money and says, take him out and show him a good time.
Yeah, he's like, this guy did us a solid. Just make sure.
Yeah, make sure he has a good night.
Yeah.
Which I was actually thinking about, like, because Kenji's not exactly the smartest guy, as we learned throughout this whole thing.
Yeah.
And I was wondering how it would have gone, because he says take him out, show him a good time. If he had just said take him out and not the show him a good time thing, I feel like Kenji might have misunderstood what the direction was.
Yeah. Very possible there, especially what we learned
at the end. Yeah.
And I like how Hay's idea of a good time is just buying a lot of ramen.
Just eating tons of ramen.
Which apparently isn't even close enough to take a dent out of the money that was given either.
Yeah. Well, they probably used some of that money to get that scooter fixed anyway, so.
Yeah.
because it was not doing good. They barely got them to Hayes' house, like barely. And because of that, Kenji ended up just kind of crashing with him for a couple days. And well, they're hanging out at Hayes' apartment, and they hear the neighbors like being crazy and drinking and shit. And like Hayes just kind of like, yeah, it's whatever. They just do that sometimes. And he's like, he looks at the clock. He's like, oh wow, they've been going for like 12 hours. He's like, oh, I'm used to it. And he's like, you're used to it? Like, this is something that happens all the time. This is bullshit. I'm gonna go talk to them.
That's a very real thing though in life. Like eventually you just get like conditioned to stuff like that. Like I mean, I live right next to a fucking airport and train station. I don't even notice it anymore. It just is. It's just part of it.
Yeah. So yeah, Kenji actually goes and he fucking breaks the door down.
Yeah,
And
like
starts,
so
like-
unnecessary.
Yeah, he starts giving them a bunch of shit until the landlady comes in and fucking like I think she like smacks him over the head with a broom or something.
Yeah, and I like how she's all
I
like,
don't care what you do to these dipshits, but you broke my door.
"Yeah, you're gonna fix this shit." like,
But it was actually kind of cool because like all the neighbors and Kenji and Hey like all work together and they fixed the door and put it back up and then they all just kind of started partying together.
yeah, it's like we all work together now. Now we are friends.
Mm-hmm. And it was actually like a really fun like kind of. I appreciated these episodes because it really got a good look at Hey from other people's perspectives, like just the neighbors, like that one dude is always dressed in like basketball shit.
Yeah,
like we've seen him tons of times throughout these episodes, just kind of in the background, like, and it's always been kind of like I don't want to say sketchy, but it's never been like oh yeah, he's just another dude. Like it's always been kind of like a weird moment whenever one of the neighbors are shown, and then it's just like no, they're just regular ass people. Like fucking like she's
chilling.
She's over here bartending to put her brothers through fucking school, and then you got this guy over here who moved here to be a musician. This guy wants to be an animator.
That's my favorite quote in the episode. It's like, I have dreams of becoming a rock star. And it's like, well, maybe you got to learn to play guitar first.
Yeah, because he was not doing a very good job.
He was playing guitar like everyone pretends to play guitar by just fucking hitting the strings and hoping something happens.
Yeah, right. So yeah, eventually, like Kenji just is like hanging out with them and they're having a good time or whatever. And Hay's like, oh, I got an appointment. I got to go do some stuff. And like he takes off and they're like kind of talking about him for a minute about how like one of them says something like, oh, like this is the most we've ever talked to him the whole time he's lived here. Like he's super antisocial. And Kenji like kind of like, he's like, nah, I didn't really get that impression from him. Like it kind of seemed like he wanted to be a part of everything, but he, for whatever reason can't. And I think that's pretty accurate for Hayes' character. Like he wants those close connections, but because of the nature of his his profession, we'll say, he doesn't really get to do that.
Yeah.
Which makes you feel good about them letting Yin have a friend. Because God knows if anyone in the group needs one.
Yin has a friend, even though Yin, I don't think, is very aware of what being a friend is at the moment, but...
Well, yes and no. Especially because in these episodes, we learn a lot about the nature of dolls. Because, like, well, we follow Hay back to, like, his meeting with Huang and them. And they're basically talking about how, like, their current mission has to do with the mob family that owns the restaurant he's working at. And basically, like, they're waiting for, like, a shipment to show up. And that's, like, a big deal that they're, like, trying to figure out what's going on with the shipment. And eventually, Kenji goes back and, like, we find out what the shipment is. Because the Chris Ayres character comes in and it's just like, all right, Kenji, I need you to do something for me. And they open up this crate and it's just a girl.
Yeah.
Inside the crate. And she's like all curled up in a ball. And she's got like fucking, like a paper apron on, like nothing else.
Yeah, this scene was very not great. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
This was
very like, it was uncomfortable. Yeah. Because apparently, and this is something that, like, they don't put a whole lot of focus on it generally, but you could totally see this being something that would happen in the seedier parts of the world if beings like dolls existed. Like, this is definitely something that would happen all the time. It is very uncomfortable, and Kenji's immediately like, I mean, yeah, I'll do it, but like, ick.
Yeah, and then he also, of course, though, then he like starts thinking with the wrong head and immediately goes the wrong way. But we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Um,
So we go back to like Hayes' group, and they're like, well, at first Hay like goes like he's gonna go to work, and his boss is like, oh, we're actually shutting down for a couple of days, but we're gonna pay you for your days off. Like, it's fine, don't worry about it. And then the group goes in because I think they're gonna go and take the shipment. I don't even know if they know what it is yet, but they're gonna go and take it. But they get there and no one's there. Like, the boss guy is knocked out in the corner, and like, oh, okay, well, I guess just nothing's going on now. I guess that's a lost cause. Well, I guess we'll contact the higher ups and see what they want us to do. And then Hay goes home, and his good pal Kenji is there with the doll.
yeah, because Kenji had that one moment where he's like talking to it, and he's like, obviously she's not saying anything, so he's like, "Can you even speak?" Like, just doing all this stuff. It's like wow, it didn't take him long to immediately change his tune.
Yeah, yeah. And it was really funny too, because when he first gets like the assignment or whatever, he's just like, man, I thought this was gonna be like an assassination or something. No, you get to babysit. Also, keep her clean. Our client wants her clean. Like, ugh,
Yeah.
ugh.
Remember to feed it because it still needs to live. I'm like,
And wipe its ass because apparently it can't go to the bathroom on its own.
what a fucked up existence.
Yeah. I'd say Yin ended up with a good deal for all things considered as far as dolls go.
Yeah. I mean, she's at least semi-competent.
Yeah. She's at least aware enough to be able to run a cigarette stand.
Yeah. She functions like a human being, anyways.
Even if she's kind of blank face most of the time.
Emotionally not really there all the time.
Yeah, she's emotionally unavailable.
Literally.
Yeah. So basically, like Kenji's asking him to help or whatever, and Lee's like basically telling him like, "You're an idiot, dude. Like, why did you bring her here? Why'd you do this? Like, do you even know what she is? Like," and like Kenji never has that moment of like, wait, how do you know what she is?
Yeah,
because
he never.
Because that's the thing. We didn't talk about it, but like part of the whole thing earlier when Kirihara was talking to her boss was that they were like reading off the Evening Primrose's demands, and like part of their demands was that they wanted the existence of contractors to become public knowledge and for them to get like normal human rights, which fair, you know, makes sense. But so like most people in this world don't know what dolls or contractors are.
Yeah. It's also very interesting too, because like he breaks character quite a few times throughout this episode, and Kenji never questions it once.
Mm-hmm.
Kenji's not very smart.
Like, you also got to figure he grew up around gangsters, so true. Like, and he's like one of those guys that like you could tell like he's a guy with a good heart. So yeah. Like somebody who has a good heart who's able to fucking flip the switch and be a fucking hard ass at any given moment, like I don't think that's anything new for him. So I think it's just one of those things that like he's around it so much he doesn't even notice it. You know?
Yeah, it's just kind of interesting though when you think about it. Like he's going from like, oh, I got my goofy, timid friend over here who's suddenly hyper competent at everything. Like, yeah. Where did this come from?
So yeah, basically they're like, all right. Well, what happens is like, hey, like he brings them inside. They have that argument, and then he's just like, "You're a fucking idiot. I'm leaving." And
yeah,
I think the next time we see him, he's at the mall.
Oh yeah, because he's got to go
underwear.
Yeah, and of course, the chief is also there because they're like, they're immediately like, "Oh yeah, like we have to find this guy." She looks over and sees the hair and goes like, "Wait a minute."
Yeah, she sees like him from the back, which because in the previous episode she saw him from the back without his full on like Black Reaper gear,
Yeah.
like him just like in his white t-shirt or whatever. And she sees him like looking at the underwear and she's like, "Oh, is that BK-201?" And she holds like a lipstick thing to his
Yeah.
back like there's a gun or something. And like they do the whole like, "Oh, don't move" thing, and like he turns around like it's like, "Oh, Lee," just like it's you.
How has she not put two and two together yet?
I don't know. I mean, like, hey, if Superman can hide with a pair of glasses, I think a mask and a trench coat does wonders in anime land.
To be fair, Henry Cavill did prove those glasses work, so.
Fair.
Um,
I'm just saying, if a pair of glasses is enough, I think the full on face mask plus the trench coat.
yeah, I guess it's just funny to me. But then I love the fact where she's like, "Oh, it's just you here, and you're buying women's underwear."
Yeah, and her friend, who I think she was like the class rep back in high school. It's actually really funny too because they're like Lee goes off to like buy the stuff or whatever, and they're talking like the two girls are talking, and her friend is like, "Oh, like how do you know him?" And she's like, "It's a long story." It's like she didn't feel like mentioning like, "Oh yeah, he was there and I met him like during the whole ordeal while our mutual friend died." Like that's not an important thing to bring up.
Yeah,
But basically like they're having this whole conversation and she's
I
like,
love
"Why
how
is
it
he buying
immediately.
those clothes?"
Yeah, it immediately goes from, "Oh, maybe it's for his girlfriend," to maybe he's a cross-dresser.
Yeah, right.
I was just like,
And then she just straight up asks him, "It's like, hey, you gonna wear that shit?" He's like,
Yeah.
no, 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 no.
I was like, what a jump in like, in just like conclusions. I was like, okay, sure,
Yeah.
that's totally what's going on here.
I love the friend's just like, he's single and he's not a drag queen.
Yeah,
Go
there's
for
a
it,
few
girl.
there's a few moments where I was like, this show was made in the early 2000s or late 2000s.
Yeah, I think like 2009, 2010, something
Yeah.
like that was when it came out.
She's like, oh, he's single and hot. You should go for it. I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
when has this been a thing? Or is this just a new?
I mean, it's not an uncommon trope in these kind of
True.
shows.
True.
But yeah, like they kind of have their like little thing, and they're like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "Oh, thanks for the help, whatever." Like, you know, I'm doing this as a favor for a friend because he couldn't go out and buy stuff for his girlfriend or whatever, which means kind of true.
It's not
way.
completely a lie.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, he ends up going back, and like as he's like coming up to the door, Kenji's like gearing up, like, "Oh, somebody's gonna, they're coming for me, whatever." And Hay walks in, and she's like, "Here, dresser, we're going." Like,
also, my favorite line. It's like, Lee, you came back. He's like, I live here.
yeah,
Like,
right?
This is my house.
For real.
And then Yin shows up.
Yeah, randomly. Like
She
she
just
like got there when he was gone.
Yeah. He's like, oh yeah, she just showed up, and he's like, is that your girlfriend? He's like, ignores him. He's like, this isn't important. He's like, Yin, dress her. You do that.
Yeah, right. But like the fact that Yin is there and like the whole situation behind it just adds even more layers to like what is the psychology of these dolls? Because like the one that Kenji brought back, like she's pretty much catatonic. She can't talk. She can't really do much on her own, if anything. Like she's like completely a blank slate. But like later on as we see, like she sends out a specter. She gets in like apparently like the dolls can like communicate with specters because Yin knows exactly what she wants and what she's saying. So like they got something going on up here, but they can't express it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just one of those things that like it's really fascinating. Also, like I don't know if you picked up on this, but this story is also like a weird parallel with the first couple episodes of the show. Because we had the whole thing where Hay was trying to help the girl who ended up being a doll, and that whole thing happened. And another correlation I noticed was that they play the same song that played at the end of that one in this. Which I thought was it because I don't think we've heard it since then. So it's like a weird kind of parallel between the two sets of episodes.
Yeah. No, it was interesting, and it's kind of bizarre, like the rest of the episode, because the rest of the episode is very quick after this point.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because they leave and they're gonna take him to the train station for him to just kind of disappear, get off the map, and
Quickest train to
but-
nowhere. It's like,
yeah,
what?
pretty much.
Sir, you forgot your change. Like,
And then fucking what's his face? The Chris Ayers character, I forget his name, pops like fucking hits him with a car, and fucking they just kind of like
put him in the trunk.
scoop him. Yeah, they stuff him in the trunk and put the girl in the back seat, and they take off. And eventually, Hay ends up catching up with them. I don't even remember where they were. They were just like, I don't know, somewhere. It was like a parking garage or something.
Yeah, and just completely wipes out the mafia in like one scene.
Yeah, and he's not even in like his Black Reaper gear, right? He's just in his like usual white shirt or whatever, and he's just fighting them. And like he zaps one of them at one point, and Chris Harris is like, he has a stun gun. Like,
yeah, it's funny too because at one point, like, they make the point of being like, "Hey, you have to get out of this. You're too close to it now. They'll find your identity."
Yeah, like at one point, like Mao was like, "You're gonna have to go into hiding after this because this is going too far." Which ultimately by the end doesn't end up having to be the case. But we'll get there when we get there.
I also like how he questions Mao. He's like, "Are you gonna bring this up to what's his name?"
Yeah, he's like,
"It's a hog."
What I gained from that.
He's like, "I don't give a shit about that guy." Like,
he's like, "I don't care enough about this. I'm just letting you know what the deal is."
Yeah.
Which I love Mao for that. He's such a good character. Also, I was thinking about this because so we have like a weird parallel here. So when they were doing the whole talk about like the Evening Primrose and Amber and everything, they make a point like, so they're in the syndicate, and then Hayes' old group is in the syndicate. So in here we have Huang, who's kind of like not really a leader, but he's more like a supervisor, like a manager kind of thing. And then you got like the team of 3, you got the 2 contractors and the doll, like you get your team of 4 over here. And then in the past, Hayes' old group was Hayes' sister, Havoc, and Amber. And I'm pretty sure they referenced back in the Havoc episode that at this time, Hay wasn't a contractor yet. So I'm wondering if the syndicate they work for, like, did they put the non-contractors in charge? And if that is the case, was Hay the Huang of that group? Since he was the only non-contractor.
I don't know.
It's just a weird thing I was thinking about. There's a lot of aspects to this show that they kind of just like briefly skim over and then just move on. Like,
yeah.
And in a lot of ways, I like when shows do that because, like, yeah, I do like the big, intricate, like, well thought out stories that like flesh out everything that they even hint at. But I also every now and then I like shows like this where it's just like you don't get an explanation. It doesn't need to be explained. It just kind of is, and that's life, you know?
Yeah.
No,
100%.
So like it's nice to have that kind of story every now and then. Where there's that ambiguity there. So yeah, eventually Hay catches up with them, and they're able to ultimately overpower all the mob guys. And Kenji ends up getting the gun, and he's holding the gun to Chris Ayers, and he's like, get in the car, you're driving, we're going to the place. And they kind of have like a weird moment where we've had a couple flashbacks up to this point of like Kenji meeting him when he was a kid. And it was interesting too because like, so we see that Kenji met this guy when he was just a little kid, and we got like a brief flash, and we could tell like it's all the same scene like that they're flashing back to, where there's this woman there, and nothing is said about her, no explanation. The only thing referred to her in any way is when the Chris Ayers character says something like, do you have anything that you would give your life to protect? I don't anymore. I used to have that or whatever. But they never explain who she is or what her connection is to this whole thing. So it's like, okay, is she an old flame? And Kenji's her kid? Is could it be that she is Chris Ayers' like sister and this is his nephew? Like we just don't
there's
know.
an odd.
Like they don't say anything.
They have an odd sort of like almost familial relationship, and that's why it makes you wonder.
Yeah, because that's another thing is we see a lot of characters throughout this show who have like really deep connections with their siblings. You know, you got Hay and his, like he's looking for his sister. You had the one Eric Vale character earlier who had that promise he made with his sister. So we have a lot of stuff with siblings going on throughout this whole thing, and so that's why the thought of it being his sister came to my mind. But I mean, who knows? It could be Kenji's mom, or I think it is pretty likely that it's Kenji's mom.
Yeah.
Either way, but they never explain it. It's just kind of left up in the open. But eventually, like, Kenji like reminds him of that whole thing when they first met, and he took Kenji out for a ride on his motorcycle, and like, you know, giving life lessons while working on the motorcycle. You know, one of those like scenes that you've seen in like a million shows and movies.
Yeah.
And then like eventually they get to the train station, and Chris Ayers is just standing with Hay next to the car, smoking a butt, as Kenji's running into the train station with the girl. And Hay's like, so you're just gonna let him go like that? And he's like, yeah, what am I gonna do? He had a gun to me. He's like, yeah, but you've been in this business long enough to know that gun was empty. Like, I was counting the bullets. There was nothing left in that gun. And he's just like, yeah, what are you gonna do? You know, so it's kind of like one of those things where it's just like, yeah, it's gonna fuck me over a little bit, but like, I'll just let it go. Like the kid was right. He's following his heart. Leave him be. Let him do his thing.
Yeah. And then he gets offed within like 5 minutes of that.
Yeah, Hay leaves, and like as he's like finishing his butt and he's getting ready to leave, some dude just kind of like walks up to him with like a gun like wrapped up in a cloth and just shoots him in the stomach. Nobody notices, and he just walks off. So, and like literally it happens, and the dude walks off, and he just looks down like, oh fuck. He's just he's like the moment of realization. He's just like, oh shit, I'm shot. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and he just kind of
like it happened so fast he didn't even register it.
Just kind of falls down, and that's it.
Like after he went to all that effort to become the new leader of the mob.
Yeah, and then we get that really fun scene right at the end where Hay goes back to the apartment, and he finds out from the landlady that Kenji sent him a package full of food. And he's like, that's too much food. Can you please distribute this to all the neighbors? And she's like, no, you're fucking maid. You do it.
Yeah. Which is just, it's a really nice, like, send-off, too, where, like, you know, it's Kenji being like, I feel like he did that purposefully. Like, he sent him too much food on purpose, because, which is bullshit, by the way, because Hay could totally eat all that food. But,
well, it's not ramen.
But, like, he purposefully did that to be like, hey, go interact with your neighbors, make friends, like make connections, make memories, like go be a human being in the world. Don't just focus on work. Like, and that was really nice. Like I like that whole thing. For once, we actually get a happy ending at the end of one of these episodes.
Yeah, aside from the mobster dying, but that was a minor
He was kind of
thing.
an asshole anyway.
Yeah, but he was deep, man. He
was. He's a very complex character for just like a one-off. Like, you know, he was in 2 episodes and that was it.
Yeah, it was kind of one of those moments where he gets killed and you're kind of like, oh damn, that sucks. Then you move on, but you did feel something for a minute.
Yeah. No, it was a really fun pair of episodes.
It was.
It was a breath of fresh air after that last week.
Well, the last 2 were just such a. It's like the show forgot it had an ongoing plot. It was like shit. Dump everything in one episode.
Well, we did have some build-up episodes, like some stuff that was hinting towards it, like the whole thing with Havoc and
yeah. It was gradual though. Like this was like a case of where they were like, shit, we weren't quick enough. Crap. Dump everything.
Like we wanted to do too many fun stories, and we kind of lost track of what we were trying to do here.
It was like halfway through they realized they didn't get approved for like a 60 episode show and only had enough for like 25.
Yeah. So yeah, that is what was it, a love song sung in a trash heap or whatever the fuck it was called.
Yeah, it was a good pair.
our next pair of episodes is going to be all about Huang. We're gonna get some Huang
Ah,
stuff
the obligatory
finally.
Huang backstory.
Yes, which it's about fucking time. I did not realize it happened so goddamn late in the show.
Mm, yes, especially after him almost getting offed last week.
Yeah, right. That'd be good. I think we got Huang, and then we got another two-parter, and then the last 3 episodes are all like back to back, like finishing it off.
Mm,
So we got 3
nice,
more Untitled Dark and the Black segments to go.
nice. Uh, that being said, though, now we get to jump into our topic for this episode, and oh boy,
Yay!
we're talking about a movie. We're superhero film, DC Comics. We're talking about the Green Lantern movie from 2011.
I think we fucked up and did 2 terrible movies back to back. Even though the
So,
next one doesn't come out until next week, but we recorded it last week.
is it weird that rewatching this movie, I went from I didn't like it when it first came out to now I was like, it's still bad, but I kind of like aspects of it.
Yeah, I mean, it has elements that could work. I mean, there was definitely a lot of things in the movie that bothered me, like a lot.
Like
Um,
I'll say right off the bat before we get too into it, the acting is not the problem with this movie. Like I thought the
no, the
acting
acting's fine.
the acting. There's some great acting choices, castings. Like that was all really good. That being said, the scripts they were working with and everything else around it. Oh boy, oh boy,
So
oh boy.
I want to start this by I know nothing about Green Lantern. Um, I know you've read a bunch of DC comics in the past.
It's all right.
How when it comes to the lore, how accurate is this movie?
Well, the writers clearly didn't know much about Green Lantern either. It's it gets like very specific points, but then forgets a lot of other shit. The problem I with this movie right off the bat is so this movie was supposed to be like DC's Iron Man. Like it was going to
Mhm.
be their kickstart of their
Feel
extended
like they
like.
feel like they picked the wrong hero for that, but yeah.
Well, you got to remember contextually around 2011 the state of DC Comics was very different than what it is now. 2011 Green Lantern was arguably their biggest seller.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Is they start because Iron Man wasn't the big seller until the MCU
Well,
started.
you got to remember too though Marvel had a different problem where they only owned the rights to like a handful of their characters at the time, so they kind of had to do what they could. Um,
True.
the thing with DC at the time was their two biggest DC. This was right on the cusp of the New 52 happening. Um, DC's two biggest sellers at the time were Green Lantern and Batman. Everything else was kind of in a weird limbo, and they just came off a trilogy of Batman films, so they really couldn't do another one to start off a universe.
Yeah, that's fair. I would say the
Um,
third one hadn't even come out yet at that point, right?
I think Rises was just out.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so this was supposed to be that big Kickstarter to the what was the original attempt at a DC movie universe. We've had 3 so far. This one
I feel like
was well,
no, go on.
this one was stillborn, like right off the bat. Like it didn't make it past one film. The extended universe kind of flopped around for like a decade and then petered out. And then the current universe, just called DC Universe, is off to a very good start, but we have to see where it goes.
Is the new Superman the first of this new attempt?
Well, technically, it was one of the shows. I think Peacemaker technically was before it, um, but it's the first film. It's the Kickstarter of this new universe.
So that last Flash film and like Black Adam and shit is completely unrelated to this new
Yep,
universe.
completely gone.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
there's
Fun
no
fact.
point in even making those movies.
Fun fact. Henry Cavill, his cameo at the end of Black Adam was completely done without James Gunn's approval. To the point where he saw that and went because James Gunn had just gotten basically just got the job as the head of DC Studios at that point.
Mhm.
and they were kind of just cleaning up the rest of the extended universe stuff before they restarted everything. And he immediately like gets this like update that like Cavill's out here saying, "Oh, I just signed an extension. I can't wait to do more Superman." And he's sitting there going like, "I wasn't told of this." Like there's a very kind of sad interview that James Gunn had to do where he basically had to go up to Henry Cavill and tell him he was not going to be Superman anymore,
Yeah.
which is a shame because Cavill was not the problem.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, Green Lantern. I feel like they would have been better off doing something like, I mean, maybe it would have been too on the nose, but I feel like doing something like Green Arrow would have been a better start at an attempt.
Maybe I just don't. I think the problem with Green Arrow is he's too much like Batman.
At
Not
least
from
CW's version of him.
well, he's always been a millionaire vigilante, but he's always been more of a left leaning for the people kind of hero.
Yeah, of course.
Um,
Um,
I I don't think I think a Green Arrow film would work. I just don't know if it would have been so also 2011 Green Arrow was not in a good place. Not in a good place at all, character
yeah, because
wise.
but like just a couple of years later, they started the CW verse with Arrow, and that was a huge success.
That was part of his re-relevancy at the time around 2011. His arc was not in it was pretty bad. Like they were DC was in a bad place around 2011 in
Mhm.
general, like right around the New 52 stuff and all the a whole lot of shuffling was going on. I
Um, hmm.
the other problem with doing Green Lantern is the average person who doesn't read comics. There was a huge controversy when this movie first got shown where everyone was like most people's Green Lantern they grew up with was John Stewart from the animated series.
Mhm.
And a lot of people were like, wait a minute, that's not the same guy.
Mhm.
Because people didn't realize at the time that,
Just more than one Green Lantern.
yeah, well, because you got to remember, growing up, Hal Jordan was dead for most of the late 90s, early 2000s.
Mhm.
He had been dead for a while. Kyle Rayner was the Green Lantern in the comics, and then John Stewart was in the animated series and later in the comics as well.
Then he became the
Um,
host of the Daily Show.
yeah. Oh man. But yeah, the Green Lantern universe itself is such a complicated mess. Also, this movie lists one of the producers as Jeff Johns, who was the writer of Green Lantern at the time, but I don't think they
Mhm.
consulted him on anything.
Figures.
Um, yeah, there is a lot going on with this film. I will say right off the bat too, to explain how this film did financially. It had a $200 million budget. It made $220 million.
Wow. They had
It
a
made
way
it.
bigger budget and A-list cast, and it made less of a profit than Dragon Ball Evolution.
Yeah, it made 20
Yikes.
million. Uh, yeah, it was, and it was also horribly poorly received at the time.
Hmm.
Um,
I'm pretty
that
sure it still is.
it's got its fans. There are some people who do defend it, to a degree, and I do understand why.
Yeah, well, I mean, see, I know nothing about Green. My only exposure to Green Lantern is from like the animated stuff. Like the old
Yes,
Justice League cartoon and like a
which
couple
is
of like the newer movies, like the Justice League like animated movies and stuff. That's all I know about Green Lantern.
so the. It's really sad that a few years before this, there was an animated Green Lantern film called Green Lantern First Flight or First
Hmm.
Light, which is it's a Hal Jordan origin story, and it is like 100 times better than this movie.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, it's actually a really good origin. I don't think it's on Paramount, not Paramount, HBO Max anymore because HBO Max got rid of half their DC shit for no reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, that movie is hilarious because it is like significantly a much better film.
Hmm.
Um, That being said, though, I do want to talk about the actors a little bit because the
Mhm.
cast of this film is really good. Like,
Yeah.
obviously Ryan Reynolds as Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, um, which is funny now because the whole time I was like, "What's Deadpool doing in this movie?"
Yeah. Yeah.
We also,
It was really bizarre too seeing him in a superhero movie like this because I mean like this is like around like obviously like he's a little bit older, but like this is around the time of like, he was doing shit like Waiting and Van Wilder, you
hmm.
know? Like this is like his younger days.
Yeah, he was pretty. He was still pretty young in this movie. Um, he also, we have a Blake Lively as Carol Ferris.
I didn't even
Along,
realize that was her.
yeah, no, this is how they met.
That's
This is the
so weird.
um
Hey, at least something good came out of this movie.
yeah. Um, she plays a good Carol. Carol's kind of a complicated mess of a character too. So there's that. We had Peter Starsgard as Hector Hammond, another another pretty good casting, I'd say.
Wait a minute. Hector, like the guy who ends up getting the guy who's like balding and he ends up getting infected with like the alien shit.
Yeah, this guy. That's his comic
Oh yeah,
appearance.
yeah, yeah.
But
Okay. That wait, he was a Skarsgård?
Sarsgaard, Peter Sarsgaard.
That's so weird to me because I think Skarsgård and I think like Pennywise. Like that's what I
Mm.
think of when I think the Skarsgårds. I know like a lot of the people in that family are actors, but like I have a very different idea of what the Skarsgårds look like than that.
Tim Robbins played his dad. That's
Hmm.
interesting. Uh, yeah, there was a few like Jeffrey Rush as the voice of Tamar Ree. He was pretty good.
Hmm.
My favorite casting in this was Mark Strong as Sinestro. I thought he did a great job as well.
Hmm.
Again, there's a few other things here or there. Clancy Brown was Parallax. I didn't notice that until like right at the
I
end.
did. I didn't notice that either.
Um, yeah, so the acting and casting choices were the best part of this film.
Hmm.
Everything else,
Yikes.
oh, so this movie came out in 2011. CG was not very good in 2011.
No, which is ironic because there's been a lot of good instances of CG up to this point. But the thing is they at least at the time, the really good CG stuff that we were getting, like it wasn't like the main focus, kind of thing. Like when they used CG previously, and like one of the things I think of specifically is something like Lord of the Rings. Like they use CG a lot in those movies, but like they wouldn't make like the CG like the main like they wouldn't like overlay CG over a person and make that part of that character in Lord of the Rings. They would do things like we'd have like a specific creature that comes out and that's CG, but they would do it in like they would do it like more realistic. Like whereas in this you have like this glowing pulsating suit and like the glowy energy bits and shit like that. Like that just looks so out of place in a movie like
It's
this.
it's Ryan Reynolds' head on a green screen half the time, and it's like, ugh. Like this
Yeah.
movie's problem is it uses too much CG. Like it uses CG for fucking everything, pretty much.
Yeah. All I can
Like
think of is that scene in the first Deadpool movie, which is like, when I get my super suit, can it not be green or animated?
yeah, which is hilarious because the eyes the eyes on the Deadpool suit are actually CG animated, which is kind of funny.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense because you
Mm,
would need it to be for him to be like expressive.
yeah. Um. Yeah. It's so. I don't even think it's like a bad suit design. Just the way they did it, it just looks terrible.
There's too many lights. Honestly, they should have just had it be like a suit. Like it doesn't need to have like that weird like pulsating like energy
Yeah.
shit just going through it at all times. That's unnecessary. It's just too much.
I hate to constantly make this comparison, but fucking Guy Gardner in Superman, like much better design, and it was like
Hmm.
mostly practical, like pretty much all practical shit. Um,
Yeah. It's
yeah,
like the difference between like MCU Spider-Man suit and like the Amazing Spider-Man suit. Like I like the older Spider-Man suits. Like like it's cool that he has all like this cool tech stuff that Tony Stark gave him and stuff, and the new stuff. But at the same time, it's like, does he need all that though? It just feels like it's too much. It's too
mm.
much.
Yeah. The Toby era suit, I think, is just iconic for a lot of us. Um,
Hmm.
Thankfully, like the cyber suit, like most of the Spider-Man suits have been decent. Um,
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're at a point now where they can do stuff like that and pull it off, especially now that the MCU is where it's at. Money wise.
yeah, it's still weird to me though that like it took them like how many years to get a Batman suit that I think looked really good. Um, which is hilarious because it's like one of the most unremarkable Batman with Ben Affleck. Nothing against Ben Affleck's performance, more just like they did fuck all with those movies.
We didn't like the Dark Knight suit.
It's fine, but it's like
I'm
I don't
not
like the
wearing hockey pads.
I don't like the armor. The armor I've never been huge into for a Batman suit. I mean, I like the Keaton suit, like even though it's really he can't turn his fucking head. He cannot turn his head. Um,
The five and dime fucking Batman figure suit
yeah,
made out of rubber.
he can't turn head. Like I love that suit, but like, oh my god. Um, the one in the Batman wasn't bad either, the Pattinson suit. But yeah.
I still
Speaking of
haven't
like,
seen that one yet.
it's good. It's worth a watch.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Uh,
going into like all these Superman's the only one that really got it good in every movie. Honestly,
Fair. Um. So yeah, I don't know. There was just like a lot of things like about like how this movie was like plotted, and like the bones of something good are here.
my theory on what happened here, they planned it ahead, were way too ambitious, and actually like thought they were going to be guaranteed sequels. So they didn't like try
You
to.
could tell by the post credit sequence.
Yeah, well that was a big complaint with this movie, is the fact that the villain's bad. Like Parallax as the villain is kind of lame. Parallax is supposed to
Oh,
be like,
can we talk about that beginning, like when they're first doing like the big like like the voiceover at the beginning and they're telling the whole story about how Parallax, the rise of Parallax and how he was defeated and all that other shit, and like that image we had of him looked like fucking. Dude, I swear to God, it looked like King Ramsey from Courage the Cowardly Dog. Return the
yeah,
slab. It looked
yeah.
exactly like him. I was like, what the fuck? This is what $300 million gets you. Like,
Excuse me, 200.
ooh, big, an extra 100 million makes all the difference.
um, yeah. What's funny too is like when I saw this movie, I had kind of fallen out of comics, so I had no fucking idea who Parallax was. Parallax was originally the name that Hal Jordan had when he went crazy and went evil and killed the entire Green Lantern Corps in the 90s.
Oh,
And then
interesting.
they retcon that into being the evil yellow energy being because they had to fix that mess that they created for themselves. But
Because green represents will and yellow represents fear. That makes sense.
fear, and then there's the whole smorgasbord of colors that were later introduced.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, but fucking that shit was Parallax. Not a great starter villain for this. It should have been Sinestro right off the bat. Although I do like that they incorporated Sinestro was a good guy at the start
Hmm.
initially, but he got corrupted very easily.
Because then
Um,
he was the guy who was just like, you're not my friend. You suck. Go
because
home, nerd.
there were moments that I really liked. Like I liked his first training segment up on Oa, like the very brief thing he has up there before he quits the core. Um,
Yeah, which that whole scene where he quits is just so dumb to me.
yeah,
Like I did not like that scene at all.
I was like, okay, because this they miss the whole point that Green Lanterns are basically just space cops. Like that's
Hmm.
basically what they do. Um, the early stuff wasn't bad either. Like the whole origin, how he got the ring, like that was all fairly
Hmm.
accurate, give or
Yeah, that was
take.
fine. I had no problem with
Um,
that.
it's like he then like comes back. What do you think of Hal's friend there, who I'm not sure is actually a character from the comics or not.
So like goofball friend there.
Yeah, the goofy guy that worked in the he worked in the office with them.
Yeah, he was like not an IT guy, but he was like a computer guy, right?
Yeah. Oh, he is a character in the comics, but he looks nothing like that. Um. Okay, so he was a character, but yeah, I just like because they really like right off the bat, like they were like, oh yeah, this is gonna be Hal's like buddy friend here. Like he does the whole thing where like Hal fucks up their entire test that they were doing to get the contract, and then
Yeah.
like the guy's like, yeah. I mean, damn it.
I
I
mean,
know.
no. Yeah, no,
Um.
I like their. I mean, I like their friendship, but I feel like it was underplayed too
al-
much.
Also, right at the start of the film, this kind of bothered me. Hal wakes up, he's like in bed with some random like woman, and I'm like sitting there going like, isn't he going out with Carol at this point?
But I didn't get that vibe. To me, like based on the conversation stuff they had, it seemed like they are like actually like in love, but he is just so quick to run away from anything serious
Well, yeah, that's kind of
that he pretty
that's
much like they hooked up and they had like a little bit of a thing, but then he just fucked off and was like, yeah, I'm just gonna just plow through a bunch of chicks and call it a day.
yeah. I mean, that is actually somewhat accurate to Hal. Now that I think about it.
So like they definitely had a history, but I don't think they were actively dating when this movie started.
Yeah, I don't know the way pacing is something this movie does not have. Um,
Hmm.
my God, this movie goes by. So it's like how long is this movie?
It's like 2 hours,
It's
just under 2 hours.
114 minutes. It goes by really fast for all
Hmm.
the wrong reasons.
Yeah, one thing I did like though was like he was having like that moment with his nephew where he was like
Hmm.
talking to him about the whole thing. It's just like, yeah, no, it's fine. Like I'm fine. I had everything under control. Don't worry. Like you're good. And like I liked how they kind of like they actually did like a little foreshadowing thing there because as he's walking out, he like knocks the car up a little. Like everybody knows the little like plastic RC car ramps that everybody had them. You build them and you set them up in different ways and shit. And he knocks the car off of that. And then like later on, we get the whole thing with the plane crash or whatever. And he said like fucking does exactly that with the Green Lantern power. Like
Yes.
that was actually
The-
kind of cool. I like that.
yeah, that was a good. So the thing about the Green Lantern rings are it's the most powerful weapon in the universe, like by far. Because it's literally as long as you have the
Because it's
willpower,
every weapon.
exactly. As long as you've got the willpower, you can create fucking anything. Um, depending on what how the writer feels on a given day. Because let's face it, you get you'll get like people the constructs of the Green Lantern Corps, different like lanterns is always funny because you'll get like really utilitarian stuff with like John because John was a soldier guy. You get
Hmm.
just you get Hal level stuff, and then you get Kyle Rayner who's making fucking Baywatch and girls and anime characters. Um, because Kyle Rayner was an artist, so he's by far the most creative Green Lantern. Um,
Fair.
and then you got Guy Gardner making giant middle fingers in the Superman film, which is amazing. But
About right. Um, what was the other thing? Oh, I had another thing in my mind. Oh yeah, so I thought they were gonna do more with this, right? So like his buddy shows up that we were talking about earlier, like after he does the whole like I saved all those people from the thing or whatever, and he shows up and he's like, "What's going on? Like, show me your thing. Like whip out your suit, do the whole thing." And like he like goes to he puts on the ring and he like goes to transform and it doesn't work and he's like, oh, maybe I didn't need to charge it. And he fucking puts it in the lantern and charges it up or whatever. I thought that was gonna be more of like a plot thing. Like I thought like, oh, like he can only do so much with it and then he has to recharge it, but it never comes up again throughout the movie. He never at any point
well,
has to recharge it.
so that's where we get into the disconnect between comics and the movie. That's just common Green Lantern lore, like that they just recharge the rings and move on. Like it's actually like a really minor part of the Green Lantern thing.
But you'd
Um,
think that would be something like they have this ultimate all powerful weapon that's the best weapon you could possibly imagine in the whole universe. You would think like kind of like Spider-Man's web cartridges. Like he can do these things, but eventually he is going to run out and that will create problems for him. Like you'd think that would be something you would utilize in a story like this.
hmm.
Create more tension.
Yeah, that's one of those. It's literally one of those things where, like, in comics, it's barely ever brought up, even though it's only ever brought up when it's important, kind of thing. And
Mhm,
the movie just doesn't. The movie doesn't really keep up with it very well.
mhm.
Um, yeah, because that is just kind of a thing where it's like, yeah, they recharge and then move on. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, God, the
I don't know.
suit
It's
looks
one
so
of those
stupid
things that I
though.
noticed. Yeah, it does.
It's not
They
even
like
the
they make multiple points throughout it where they're like, "Oh, that's so cool." It's like, no,
the suit
it looks
itself.
tacky as fuck.
The suit itself doesn't bother me that much. The goddamn mask looks so fucking bad. Like,
Why couldn't he just wear a regular fucking mask? Like, why
I
did that have to
know,
be CG too?
I know. I'm like, God, because there's that one clip of like Hal with his like laying down with his eyes like really close, and I'm like, that looks terrible.
And also, like, there was the scene where, like, he after he saves all those people, and he goes to was it Carol's window or whatever. And they're doing the whole like Superman going to Lois Lane kind of thing.
Yes.
And actually, the setup for that was really dumb too, because like as they're doing the whole thing, and his friend's like, "Oh my god, you're a superhero! Doesn't the superhero get the girl?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, maybe I will go get the girl." And then he just
Also,
goes right
like,
there and immediately starts trying to show off.
I also do love the fact that like it they do play with the fact that that mask does fucking nothing because it took her 3 seconds to realize that was Hal.
Yeah, that's where I was going with that. It's just like she just immediately, and this is the same universe where again Superman gets away with just a pair of glasses. That's all. But
I
like,
do love how like, later authors would just like make jokes. They'd always goof on Lois being like, "Greatest reporter ever didn't notice the greatest secret ever right in front of her face."
yeah, didn't notice that the greatest superhero in the world is laying in bed next to her.
Yeah, that's actually a thing. Comic lore, they actually got together as like Clark and Lois before he revealed his identity to her.
So what did he just keep the glasses on in bed? He's like, nope,
No,
not taking these off.
she just never noticed. It's not important.
It's like, oh, I take my glasses off. We have to turn the lights up.
You had to like he had to just take like show the S. Like that's how you know.
I guess so.
Comics. But see, I grew up in that era too, where I was reading The Flash, and Wally just had a fucking public identity, and I'm like, all right,
Yeah, sometimes it happens. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't.
yeah. It's just funny how like superhero comics are such a mess lately, but or over the years, I should say. Um,
Yep.
yeah. So like another thing too is the fact that like this movie can't decide where it wants to take place because like it's like mostly on Earth, which is fine, but they like barely like they go to Oa like twice throughout this movie.
Yeah.
Um, the first time is during his initial training period where he's like training with Kilowog, which is fun. Because I like the way Kilowog does the training arc where he's like, oh yeah, that right there matches the gravitational pull of a star. Be very unfortunate if you're flying through space and get pulled into one of those.
Yeah. The bigger you are, the faster you burn.
Yeah, I like that too.
Dumb.
I did like Hal's little like how he's like, oh yeah, gotta get creative, Han. Like fucking just ease him in the dick and just like fucking traps him. He's like, I'll learn that next time.
And
Like
like, all
there
right,
were
so I know.
moments that
Oh
were
yeah,
good.
there were some moments that were fun for sure. Like this is like, see, this is like one of those situations. Like, and I know I'm referencing an episode that hasn't technically come out yet, but whereas when you look at this compared to like say Dragon Ball Evolution, where like that movie is fun for all the wrong reasons. This movie has fun moments and had the potential to just be really good.
Hmm.
It just, but the bits that mattered the most is where it kind of fell through the cracks.
The problem is they were following. This was directly following up the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy, which is a great trilogy of movies, but they are incompatible with any sort of greater DC universe.
As it stands, yeah, yeah,
Even then, like to make other heroes work in that universe, they would not be the same heroes. It wouldn't work.
Hmm.
Yeah, because Batman's a complicated one like that.
Yeah.
We still have not really gotten a true like DC universe Batman, I'd say, film. Like the closest we got was Ben Affleck, and he barely did anything.
So wait, so I know we're kind of backtracking again, but like the Batman movie that came out like last year, like that's in the old set, like that's not part of the new.
No, that's completely standalone. It's not part of either.
Okay. I mean, I guess I actually like that more.
So they say
We've had
there's
too many
still
Batman. Too many.
yeah. Well, because
And
that
yet no
movie's
Terry McGinnis.
they don't want to acknowledge Beyond happened. Um,
Stupid. Stupid.
the thing with like that Batman movie is it started out as it was supposed to be the Ben Affleck solo film, and then he dropped out of it, and then he was still going to direct it, but like not star in it, and then he just completely dropped out of the project entirely, and then it ended up becoming its own separate thing to the point where it's now it's standalone, and it's getting a
Mhm.
sequel and a TV series which is connected to it.
Well, that's actually kind of fun.
It is. The problem is though is now we have the DC universe which is starting up. And it's kind of like this weird thing where everyone's like, so is that part of this? And James Gunn is like, no, but
Well, then we also do have the CW verse on the side too.
well that's
There's too
officially the
DC has
CW
too many universes.
the CW verse is officially dead, by the way. So
They dead or did they complete it?
they're done. They've finished. Superman and Lois ended, and they're done with all their series now.
But it's
Because
not like people don't like us anymore. We're just gonna stop. Like, did it have a conclusion?
Superman and Lois had a conclusion. Because that was the final show. Um, it ended well. Because ironic, the irony behind all the CW shows is that they all went on way too long to the point where they just got tired.
Mhm.
Superman is the one that ends. People say, and Superman and Lois is the one that people say ended too early.
Okay.
So, because it ends at a point where everyone was like, "This show is so good. Why is it ending?" A lot of the other ones ended at the points where people were like, "This is like God, let it die."
Yeah,
Um,
that's fair.
yeah, but the reason behind that is because James Gunn wants all the DC media to be connected now, so that he's basically there cutting off all
Good
the.
luck with that.
Well, the way he's doing it is very smart. The problem is, see, they're doing it now just like the way Marvel is, where like pretty much all the Marvel shows are connected to the MCU.
Mhm.
The problem is though, the Batman kid thing is the thing that's kind of the wrench in the plans because that was extremely successful.
Yeah.
Um, and now they're kind of like, well, we can't just say like, sorry, psych, this doesn't exist anymore. But they also, it's not 100% even sure if it's going to be compatible with the new series or not. So, to wait and see there.
I mean, there's got to be a way they can do it.
Oh,
I don't know. Anyway,
James Gunn could probably do it. It's whether or not he wants to bother or not that we'll find out. Or
I'm just saying, if we have like the most successful Batman since The Dark Knight and the most successful Superman since fucking Christopher Reeve,
yeah,
you know, I feel like you should try to figure something out there to get them together. But
yeah, we'll see what goes on because it's all really because we don't really know. I think the bigger problem isn't so much that James Gunn doesn't want to do it. I think it's more Matt Reeves already had a vision, and they're not going to step on each other's toes like that.
I see.
We'll see though.
All
Those are
right.
good things though. We're talking about Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Um,
So I gotta point this out.
yes,
So they have the whole thing where like it's like, oh, don't get too close to one of those stars because that could be bad or whatever. And like they end up having this whole thing where it's like, we can't risk the core. The core is too important. And it's just like, okay, fine, I'll fight him myself. So we have one singular Green Lantern, who's a rookie, by the way, a complete and total rookie, goes up against this big ultimate evil and wins. And like it's one of those things where like nobody really had the idea, like, hey, maybe we should just throw him into a star. Like nobody that never crossed anyone's mind. Keep in mind, this is the core of space cops whose entire power is built on imagination. None of them thought to throw him into a star.
hell,
Not a
that's like
single one. And the fact that one singular Green Lantern was able to take him down, and you have literally thousands of
one
Green Lanterns
singular
out
Green
there.
Lantern who quit like an hour before. Was basically had no idea what he was doing for the most part.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like that those kinds of things for me are the parts where this movie really falls apart. It's because like I mean shit, fucking even Goku killed 3 people by throwing them into the sun. Like goddamn.
Superman does it all the time. Like
That's all I'm saying, man. Like the sun is like this. The sun is like the ultimate fucking like destructive force in the universe, and there's literally millions of them. Just drag him to the nearest one and throw him in.
yeah. That's the problem here. They were clearly building to something that was never going to be achieved.
And also, what the fuck? What reason did he have to fucking take the yellow ring at the end? Like, there was literally no reason. After they just had the whole big, like, you were right. Will is the best. Fear sucks. We did it. Everything's cool. He's just like, I'm gonna snag that fear ring though. That looks real good.
Well,
Looks real good.
canonically, I believe it's because he's been kind of tainted by the fear. Because Parallax is technically the essence of fear, and he's very good at like getting into the minds of people who have weaker wills. And
Yeah, which makes sense with everything that happened with Hector earlier.
yeah, and Sinestro is kind of like he has like the strongest control of fear to the point where the Yellow Corps are literally called the Sinestro Corps.
Hmm.
Because well, he was the original Yellow Lantern. Because the early lore was that Green was weak to Yellow. It's some stupid shit like that. Before they actually made logical reasons behind it. Um,
Also, what's with all these like mega versions of DC villains being yellow? Like Reverse Flash is yellow too.
yeah, Reverse Flash is his own weird. Well, Reverse Flash is literally just a color reversed Flash. Um,
Yeah, but his main color is yellow. I don't know. It's just one of those things I noticed.
yeah, I don't know. Convenience.
Yeah.
Yeah, that final fight was really lame too. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, they definitely could have done a lot more with it. I say I watched this movie twice. God help me. And I did it just piss him off enough for him to follow him into space? Is that what happened? Because I feel like I kept missing like how they ended up in space.
I guess it just kind of happens because like that
Because like
confrontation. The
yeah, go
confrontation
on.
first starts with Hector kidnaps Carol because he's apparently a simp, I guess.
I
Um,
guess.
and he's jealous that the attractive lady was into the attractive man, not the
Go
weird
figure.
scientist. Who saw that? Who didn't see that coming? Um, but yeah, he just kind of is all like, "You're better than me," and he's like, "Of course you have this magic ring," and he's like, "All right, Hector, you take the ring. Let her go." And he's like, "Psych, the ring only works with those who it chooses."
Yep. Then like he just like died. Like well, first of all, like he didn't even like really develop these powers until like halfway through the movie. Like the bad guy Hector didn't like start really like figuring out like how this whole fear power worked until like halfway through the movie. And then like 20 minutes, maybe half hour later, he starts getting all disfigured and shit. And like all of a sudden he's doing this shit. And then he just gets taken out like a bitch by like the big guy who we haven't seen throughout this whole fucking movie.
Yeah, aside from like right at the start where he kills Evan Sore, like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Also, like, how did that even work? Like, it's just like he's just doing an autopsy on the guy, and it's just like, oh, there's a little yellow goo in there. I guess I'm a supervillain now.
I don't think that this whole thing was definitely shit they pulled out of their ass. It was
Yeah,
not comic-y at all. Um, and also he can just inject it into people and make them like I was like, okay,
I guess.
like that's a thing now apparently. Um,
Yeah, also, he set flamethrowers on his own father and killed him. This
Yeah,
seems a little much.
he did. He sure did.
Because like throughout the movie, you can tell his dad is definitely an asshole, but like he wasn't that bad. He wasn't so bad that you should fucking burn him to death.
Yeah. I mean, he seemed concerned a little bit. Anyways.
Concerned enough. I mean, he was still a politician, so I mean,
Well, yeah, I mean, there.
But either way, he was doing what he could. I mean, fuck, he even threw him a bone and let him do an autopsy on an alien. He's a school teacher.
Yeah.
The fucking school teacher got that job. Like,
Yeah.
he's doing. He may be an asshole, but he's still trying to help him out,
Yeah.
doing what he can for him. And then he's at the fucking party. He's just like, yeah. So I was doing an autopsy on this alien the other day. It was pretty sweet. I'm not supposed to talk about it though. Like,
Yeah. You go out with me? Oh, you like the hot guy. Right. I see.
which is even funnier because they're married in real life, have children together.
Well, yeah. They are now. Oh, man.
Funny how that worked out.
It was the one thing that came out of this film.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's the problem is like the few good parts this movie has are really good, but everything else is just so fucking pointless.
Hmm.
Because they're building up to something that we know is never going to happen. So then we get that like tease right at the fucking end of the movie, and it's like, oh, that would have been cool. We'll never
Yeah.
see that.
No shit.
Because the guy who plays
Yes.
Sinestro, Mark Strong, is really good. Like he could have been a great villain if they just let him be the fucking villain.
Yeah, and then like that whole scene where like he's doing the whole training thing, and then he shows up and like pretty much just like kicks the shit out of him. It's just like, look at how good I am. You don't measure up to my mentor. Fuck off, loser. And Ryan Reynolds is just like, oh, I guess I will fuck off because I wasn't able to win a fight against this seasoned veteran when I'm just kind of learning the ropes. I guess I'm a failure and I have to leave.
Yeah. I mean, admittedly, that was fairly accurate to Sinestro, all things considered, but that was a weird Hal choice because Hal's famously supposed to have like the highest willpower on Earth, or one of the many people who do, because they change that every fucking couple of years. But comics,
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
people grow and change as they go on. So
yeah, and
makes sense
also
that some people's wills will waver and some people will grow.
the lore of Green Lanterns has changed so much in like the span of like the last like couple decades that it's like I don't know. I mean, it'd be so. It's funny because we're getting that Lanterns TV series pretty soon, starring that's gonna be like Hal and John and guys, I guess, also there. But we're getting a new Hal in live action for like the first time, which is gonna be interesting, especially with like the modern setup.
So was there not a Green Lantern in the Justice League movie, or was it a different one?
Nope, no Green Lanterns.
Okay.
They kind of have been avoiding Green Lanterns for a while now because of this movie.
I wonder why.
Well, like, I know. That's all I can say.
I think we've pretty much covered the gauntlet for the most part.
Yeah, it's just annoying because there was so much potential here. Like all the acting, it was good. The direction, not so much.
Yeah, like I said, there was potential here, and it was flubbed.
What has Martin Campbell done since this movie? Or what has he done in general? Oh, he directed GoldenEye.
What?
Okay. And Casino Royale.
Okay.
And Mask of Zorro. This was a good director. Like, what the fuck happened?
I mean, not to again reference the episode that hasn't come out yet, but the guy that did fucking Final Destination did Dragon Ball Evolution, and that clearly didn't work.
To be fair, though, Final Destination is a good movie, but I don't think it's actually a well directed film. Final
I don't know.
Destination
A
is
lot of those scenes are pretty dynamic. That's a
well,
series we'll have to cover at some
yeah,
maybe the next cycle of Halloween stuff or
maybe.
something. But
Final Destination's a weird case because I don't think those films are good inherently, but they're entertaining, so it kind of makes up for it.
I mean, the whole concept of like you can't escape death.
Well,
Like
yeah,
if it's your time, it's your time. And
the con
even if you manage to avoid it, like you can't get away from it.
the concept of Final Destination is really good. I just think they're kind of like they kind of survive off of the shock factor and the fact that that's a really cool concept for a movie more than the actual films themselves.
True. I mean, it really does just become like a who's going to be next, like kind of
Hmm.
like what crazy way is this one gonna die? You know, like that's kind of how those movies go
Yeah,
for the most part. But I mean, that's it's a standard white bread kind of horror movie,
yeah, not by far.
but it
Interestingly,
works for what it is.
yeah, interestingly enough, I'm not sure if this is considered the worst DC film. Suicide Squad was worse.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what other. Like again, I haven't really seen that many of the live action DC stuff, so it's hard for me to gauge.
This
And I
movie
have again,
remind
I haven't seen the new Flash. I haven't seen Black Adam. I haven't seen fucking So I hadn't seen this movie until this week. So it's one of those things where like doing this series of like covering superhero movies. Like I'm gonna be watching a lot of new stuff. I'll be watching a lot of good, and I'll be watching a lot of bad. So it's just kind
yeah.
of
Well, because I know our plan next is we're basically doing the reverse of our original run where we did two good DC movies, then two good Marvel movies, and now we're gonna do two bad DC movies and the two bad Marvel films. So
oh,
next, because
what's a bad unaffiliated one we can do at the end?
I'll have to think on that because I'm sure there is one.
So we should just do superhero movie
Maybe
with
if we
Drake
can't,
Bell.
if we can't, um, if um, if we can't do that, we'll figure something out. Yeah.
All right, fair enough. But I think
Um.
that's probably a good place to cut it off for now.
Yeah. Yeah. So next week we are doing. Next week we are doing 100th episode, so that'll be
Yes.
fun. We alluded to it a little bit. We'll be covering Dragon Ball Evolution, so look forward to that one. And then after that, we are going full on into spoopy season, and we're going to be covering a couple horror films for the month of October
Yes.
and the first week of
Yeah.
November because we planned badly.
It's not our fault. The 100th episode ended up falling on the first day of October. So
Yeah,
or the first
it's
week
just
of October at least.
it happens that way. Um, but yeah, so looking forward to that in the future. But anyways, guys, once again, thank you for joining us on Geek Addicts. You can find Geek Addicts on all the major podcasting platforms, particularly Apple Podcast and Spotify. And be sure to check us out over on the Superpod Network. That is superpodnetwork.com. Awesome site where you can find a whole bunch of different podcasters, videos, blogs, all sorts of fun stuff. We just wrapped up our Bubsy series, the Bubsy blog, and we're about to kickstart Spooktober. So we'll all be covering a bunch of a bunch of us, I should say, will be covering a horror game for the month. So look forward to that in the future. But other than that, guys, once again, thank you for joining us, and we will see you all later.
Have a good one.